Good morning, you wonderful humans. Well, by the time this is live, it's probably not morning anymore. But welcome back to episode 24 of my 6-month podcast series where I'm diving into all the things at being fully self-employed and trying to build all these businesses that I'm building. My product-based business, my community platform, Empowered by Women, my coaching business, my speaking business, all of the things. This podcast series dives into the strategies that I'm putting into place, the mindset that I'm cultivating, all of the systems that make it all work. And I am so excited for today's episode. I feel like it could be a really loaded episode, but because I'm on kind of a time crunch, it's going to be like a 20 to 30 minute episode. So I might have to save some things for next week. As you can see, if you're watching via video, I am recording from a different location today. I'm actually in Los Angeles. We had a beautiful event last night here in LA that I'm going to dive into in this episode. So I woke up and, I fell with a fever a couple of days ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot be sick. I really want to go to this LA event. I just know it's going to be so special. I know there's so many beautiful connections that I need to make and I need to be there. And I just muscled through. What I'm trying to say is I was supposed to record this episode a couple days ago and I'm recording it here now because I was sick. And I figured, this would be such a cool time to just record the episode while I'm out in a different location. But listen, I powered through. I napped for like 5 hours during the day. I had our girl Nikki, she does this thing called a honey bomb where it's like this drink concoction that you make. So if anyone is sick or feeling like you're getting sick, drink this. I did it with hot tea, and it's the mullein leaf tea. That was the only tea that I had available. And then I put black pepper and fresh ginger and turmeric and cinnamon and honey. A lot of honey to sweeten it up. And a little bit of whiskey. It wasn't that bad. It's become tolerable to drink. So I drank a whole, I think it's normally supposed to be a shot, but I drank a whole mug of it the day I was feeling really ill, and then the following morning as well. And then I just felt 10 times better, tested negative for COVID. And I was like, cool, I'm still going to LA. I'm still going to make all these beautiful connections. And so let's start there because I feel like that's going to be the bulk of this episode, even though there's so many other things that I want to talk to you all about. But we had our Entrepreneurs Who Lead events in a partnership with Seek Coaching LLC and also Warner Executive Suites in Canoga Park. And first of all, the venue was beautiful. And Marie ZQ, who is the founder of Seek Coaching, she is just such a beautiful energy and an incredible connector. And she landed the Warner Executive Suites clients and brought us in with her essentially to bring this event to life and to expand it to the world and to continue to build community amongst our fellow entrepreneurs. And that is the power of relationship building and being really intentional and what was I going to say? Intentional just about how you're showing up and how you're giving back, right? I woke up feeling just so grateful for everything and for everyone this morning. I don't know if you're feeling it from just the way that I'm showing up in this episode, but I almost am feeling it so much that I'm at a loss for words. I think that's what's happening because I've just had so many amazing conversations, and the feedback that I'm getting from the different people that I'm talking to, whether it's about our community, whether it's about me and how I'm showing up in the world or how I'm showing up as a speaker, the feedback has been so incredible. And I just feel so incredibly lucky to continue to create this life for myself and for everyone just in my vicinity. And it's so special. So it was wonderful. We had some keynote speakers. I was on the panel. I was originally supposed to be a keynote speaker, but just looking at the timeline, it didn't make sense the way it was previously. So I decided to opt out of keynote speaking and then go into the panel just to make sure that the event could flow smoothly. And again, that's also part of it, right? How are you giving more than you take? Like, if you are a fellow community builder or thinking about how do you build community, how do you start creating something that really is long lasting and that continues to add value to the people in your community, it's about constantly putting them first. And how are you creating opportunities for them instead of just highlighting yourself? So we did have one of our members, Shivani. Shout out to Shivani. Shivani, I know you listen to this podcast, so give yourself a round of applause. Shivani delivered her first keynote last night, and she freaking killed it, you guys. I am so proud of her, and I know this is just the start of a really incredible speaking career for her. And she was so nervous, like a week ago when she told me that she wanted to be a part of it. Well, maybe not a week ago, but we, kind of gave her a little bit of support through our mini masterminds call earlier this week. And then she did leverage the speaker incubator, which is amazing. So she booked the session with one of our speaker coaches, Ivan Armenta, and then also with Kate, who's our self-presentation mastery expert, just so she can really prepare and make the most of the time that she had in front of our audience. And she rocked it out of the park, you guys. This is the power of being in community and allowing yourself to continue learning from the people around you. And not only that, but like if you're investing into a community, really take advantage of the perks that it offers, because you don't know like what opportunities are waiting for you beneath the surface. Shivani came into our world not that long ago, and the crazy thing is we met through another women's community that was all about people that are wanting to become speakers or wanting to continue developing their speaker resume. And I had signed up for that community, obviously, and wanted to engage with the other people in the community. And she had posted something. I responded to it. She ended up coming to one of our in-person events. We had a great chat. And that first chat was all about, well, how do I even begin to speak? Because that's something that I want to do, but I don't even know where to get started. Like, where do these opportunities come from? And fast forward not that long, and now she's delivered her first keynote speech, and it was amazing. And she was getting so much great feedback after it from other people saying how much they loved her talk. That is the power of being in the room. That is the power of putting yourself out there, for asking for the opportunities, for continuing to make strides towards what it is that you're trying to build. That is manifestation. Manifestation is not just wishing and hoping that it comes to life for you. It is about wishing, wanting the thing, getting clear on what you want, but then also taking those steps every single day towards making it happen for yourself. So shout out to you, Shivani. You were absolutely incredible. There were some other really amazing connections that I made last night that I'm excited to continue nurturing and to see where that goes. But I'm not going to spend too much time talking about every individual relationship that I started building last night. But just know that it was amazing, and we are potentially going to be coming back to Canoga Park and doing this on a regular basis. We still have to kind of like work out the kinks and the logistics, so we will definitely let you know. Okay. One of the other things that we talked about during the actual panel, and Nikki, who was moderating the panel, sent this question to me, and it was about going from chaos to clarity, right? And what strategies do you put in place in order to do that, in order to show up with clarity? But in my response, I was really like, this is really like a multifaceted question. And honestly, the strategy comes after the clarity. And the clarity comes by doing. And doing all, honestly, not always with strategy in the beginning, because you don't know what you don't know. But where people get tripped up is they don't allow themselves to start, either because they don't have the clarity or because they feel like they need all of the systems and strategy in place from the get-go, which is simply not true. What we've built today, this beautiful, thriving ecosystem with this platform, has continued to be refined time and time again, because we continue to progress and see where are the gaps, where are the loose ends, where do we need to tighten up our systems, and what systems do we need to have in place to create a better, more valuable platform for our members. And we wouldn't know that if we never got started. I would not know. If you asked me 2 years ago what this platform would look like, I had no idea. But I got started. I started building the momentum. And as I was doing, I started getting clarity of, okay, this is the direction we should be going in. And then we start going in that direction. It's like, okay, this is the systems we need to put in place to support the direction that we want to go in. So you really need to get clear on what it is that you want to offer, but don't allow the lack of clarity to prevent you from getting clarity. This is something else that I was talking to Shivani about. People are always saying like, oh, I'm not ready. Like, I'd love to be a keynote speaker, but I'm not ready. So what are you doing to get yourself ready? Are you actually putting yourself in the room to speak in front of other people? Look, Shivani killed it. I already told you that. She did so much better than my first ever keynote. I will say that. And everyone has a different learning journey, but you don't get to improve unless you put yourselves in those moments of discomfort. And one of my fellow panelists said so beautifully, Pierce, who wrote the book Peak Integration, go check it out on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. I'll add that link in the description. He was talking about using fear as a tailwind instead of a headwind, which I loved so much. Essentially meaning don't let fear stop you from showing up, but instead let it propel you, right? Fear is essentially just a sign that you're allowing yourself to grow and to expand. And that's what you want, because you have this beautiful vision for yourself of where you want to be. And you're not going to get there unless you decide to step out of your comfort zone. Okay, so what else is happening? One of the big things that's happening right now is that I am really doubling down on building out our sponsorship program and really understanding what that even means. And you guys, the sponsorship world is a whole nother world. It is insane, all of the things that I'm learning. And I'm almost like, oh my God, I didn't know anything before. I feel like it's almost like all of the strategies I put in place, like, yes, they worked. We've had a lot of amazing in-kind sponsorships and people wanting to partner with us. But now that we're growing the way that we are, we really want to be able to amplify the support that we're bringing in so that we can continue showing up in a way that is accessible to other women entrepreneurs and professionals. That is something that I want to maintain no matter how big we get. I do not want to get to a point where we're charging $600,000 just to come to our summit. Like, no. It's about accessible support because we all deserve that. And you all have so many beautiful ideas in your head. And it's just heartbreaking when I see that someone has a brilliant idea, but not the access to the resources that they need to help bring that idea to life. So we want to maintain that accessibility. And in order to do that, we need the funding. So I am part of the Sponsor Society with Jessica Chinyelu. I hope I'm saying her last name right. Highly, highly, highly recommend being a part of that community if you are looking to build your own sponsorship program, because she is amazing at what she does. And I've been watching the bi-weekly replays. I haven't had the chance to like join live. It's usually like in the morning and I'm either at the gym or like still with the kids or doing something else. So I've been catching the replays and I've been engaging in the community. Again, if you're going to be a part of a community, whatever community it is, really try to maximize the resources that are in that community. So I've been fully diving in and learning all of these things about how to show up, how to do outreach. What does the cadence of the outreach look like? What are you supposed to be including in your decks? What does the actual conversation look like? And even that internally, I've just been learning so much and developing my ability to speak to different people and also really building my own confidence to ask for what I want. Right? And that is a message that I'm constantly sharing with you all, is to ask for what you want. So literally, I was at the nail salon 2 days ago preparing for this event, and I took a call with a potential sponsor that 2 days prior, I was pitching him for the first time. So my initial goal getting on the call with him, that very first initial call, was to bring them on as a financial sponsor for our summit. His primary goal on getting that onto that call was to share their affiliate partner program, which is something that I was already familiar with and yes, was interested in, but that wasn't my primary goal. So when I shared that my goal was to land them as a monetary sponsor for the summit specifically, his response was, I mean, it's not a hard no, but that's something that usually happens with like, partners that have been with us and have been giving us referrals and all of that. And old me, pre-watching all of these training replays, would have been like, okay, I totally understand, no worries. That would have probably been my response. But because I've been so invested into learning this sponsorship world and how to talk to sponsors and making sure that I'm keeping the ball in my court, I said, okay, no worries. And I continued to push further. I said, what does a successful partnership look like, right? So that I know in my head, like, what are they looking for when it comes time to finally have that conversation that they're going to be like, yep, you're good to go, right? So how do I prepare for that? And not only asking them, what does successful partnerships look like for you all and what are you looking for, but I would love to get the contact information anyway for the right person that is kind of leading the sponsorship department or whatever, marketing department, whoever has the budget for it, whoever they're normally talking to, just so I can get clarity from them and I can start building that relationship, right? And I asked for it. I mentioned it maybe like 3 or 4 times during the call. And at the end of the call, he was like, yeah, that's no problem. Like, I'll share the contact information. And we decided to move forward with the affiliate partner program, obviously. And this is something that I learned is actually very common, where large corporate sponsors will kind of just do a trial run, which is an affiliate partnership, right? Where it's like, they'll see if you are capable of kind of bringing them in business. Because if you show that you're successful in doing that, then obviously it makes sense to invest a little further, give you some cash up front so that you can really put them in front of your audience and then bring in even more people. So we decided to move forward with that. He agreed that he was going to send me the contact information so I could start nurturing that relationship. And I counted that as like a huge win. Like, wonderful, we're having this trial run that's starting with the affiliate partnership program, and I also get to start speaking with the people, the key decision makers. Fast forward 2 days later, he sends me an email the morning of and says, hey, let's get on a call today. Let me know when you have 20 minutes. Sorry for the fire drill. Just wanted to bring this to your attention. And I'm like, okay, something either like crazy happened and they shut down like all of their partnership program, or there's a really amazing opportunity waiting for me at the end of this call. I had a busy day that day and I was like, okay, I could chat either at this time or at this time, and it's going to be a regular phone call. We're not going to be able to like meet via video chat. So I took the call at the nail salon and he was like, so I was talking to my team and I was asking them like which contact information I should send you, and they were like, well, like why? Like, why do you need it? What is she asking for? And he reiterated everything that I said, and they were like, well, how much is she asking for? Just like, that's fine, just give it to her. Depending on what the number is. And then, we can talk about like the referral program afterwards. And he was basically let me know that, saying like, hey, just like send over your deck, because I essentially got the green light that we'll go ahead and sponsor your summit. Obviously, we haven't actually determined the level yet, but we'll take a look at your materials and then, we'll take care of the referral program afterwards. And that was like such a surreal moment, for one, because of how much I was still like patting myself on the back for taking control of that initial call and being very firm in what I wanted and not being afraid to ask for it. And then 2, I was taking the call at the freaking nail salon and I was like, how is this my life that I get to like be discussing these deals while I'm getting pampered at the nail salon? That is amazing. And then 3, I actually said a big number to him on that call, which is something that I'm still like training myself to get comfortable with, because I've never asked for such a large sponsorship verbally before. I mean, I've had it in our decks and I've sent over the deck, but I've never actually verbally asked for it. So there's just been so much like internal growth, and there's also so much organizational growth happening that people that are not listening to this podcast might not see, but it's just getting me so excited for what's to come in the future. So a lot of amazing things happening. I also had a really great, oh my God, I'm like, my nose is running, sorry. I had another really great connection call with another community leader. And because of the way the conversation was going and that we were truly just trying to get to know each other and how do we support each other, that call also ended up leading to, oh, well, you know what? We're actually looking for sponsors for our upcoming summit. And I could see you potentially, like, we can put your community or your brand in front of our audience in this way or in this way. So if you're interested in that, I'm happy to send over the deck. That was not at all what the call was supposed to be about, but because we were taking the time to get to know each other and that opportunity presented itself, now I have another potential sponsor. And she was like, yeah, that actually like might work. We might love to do that. So a lot of amazing things happening, and I am excited to share some updates with that. Okay, last thing before I end this episode, because it's already 10:30 at the time I'm recording this, and me and Nikki are going to go get some brunch before I head to the airport and back to my babies. The VIP day. So the VIP day would have been today. I did not book the VIP day. I'm not heartbroken. I'm not embarrassed. And I want to be able to share this transparently with you. Honestly, when I decided to launch the VIP day, part of me was like, oh my gosh, what if I don't sell it? You know, all of those things, all of those thoughts that come through our heads all the time of the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome. Nobody's gonna want to invest that much money in me. What if I don't sell it? I'm going to look like an absolute like embarrassment. Listen, entrepreneurship has taught me a lot of things, but it has also just taught me like internal and mental grit and endurance, and continues to deepen the confidence that I have in myself and in my path. And even though I didn't book this VIP day, the fact that I launched it has done so many amazing things for me. For one, it's given me more confidence in the way that I show up and what I have to offer. And also in showing up and offering something and it not getting bought, like that still feels good, that I know that I'm okay and that I still am confident in my value. But it's also started piquing the curiosity and the interest of people in my world of what is this VIP day? Like, what are you offering? And so that's led to a few other conversations of people that now the seed is planted, even though they didn't take me up on the offer. Now it's something that they're thinking about. I had this one really amazing conversation with a woman that really sees the value in what I have to offer and is very interested, but right now it just didn't feel like the right time for her, and that's totally okay. I'm not going to hard sell anybody. I'm not going to push you to invest in me, because I want to work with women that are ready to start implementing, that are ready to start doing the work. I don't want to work with you one session and then 6 sessions later you haven't done any of the work. That's not the point. That's a disservice to you. That's a disservice to me. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for everything. I am excited for what the future holds and everything on the horizon. And it's just been such a beautiful experience. So if you've been tuning in for the past 6 months, oh my gosh, no, the past would this be 6 months? 4 times 6 is 24. Is that right? Is this supposed to be the last episode? I think the last episode is supposed to be next week to be a full 6 months. Oh, that actually makes me so sad. We'll see what happens. But if you've been tuning in for the past almost 6 months, thank you for being on this journey with me. If you're a part of the